Hello friends and welcome to this video. My name is Nivrutti Patil. In this video we are going to see the partial differential equations, and these equations can be solved using the finite difference approximation method. So the partial differential equation means we are taking the derivative with respect to two or more than two variables. The general form of the partial differential equation, if we consider in the two independent variable, is given in the form of a da by square u by da by x square plus b da by square u by da by x into da by y plus c da by square u by da by y square plus d is equal to 0, where a, b, c are the functions of the independent variable x and y. D is the function of x, y, u and first derivative of the u variables. So these equations can be classified according to the condition b square minus 4ac is less than 0, equal to 0 or greater than 0. If the condition is b square minus 4ac is less than 0, then the equation will be called as an elliptic equation. If b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, then such equation will be called as a parabolic differential equations. And if the condition b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then such equation will be called as a hyperbolic equation. So first we are going to convert this partial differential equation to the differential approximations. So let's consider this is the rectangle region in x and y direction. We are going to divide this rectangular region into number of parts along the x direction as well as along the y direction. So the distance between two consecutive values of x will be denoted by h, and the distance between two consecutive values of y will be denoted by k. This h value and k value are may or may not be same. So we have the finite difference approximation for this partial derivatives in x direction, as which we already learned in the previous video in finite difference method. So that approximation can be written according to the forward difference approximation, backward difference approximation and central difference approximations. So if we consider this any nodal point value, then it will be denoted as a x comma y. So the next value we can denote as a x plus h comma y, and the previous value in x direction can be denoted as x minus h comma y value. Now same case in y direction, the next value will be denoted as x comma y plus k, and the previous value will be denoted as x comma y minus k value. So using these notations we are going to write the partial derivative according to the finite difference approximation using forward approximation, backward approximation and central approximation. So according to the forward approximation, you will be get as a da by u by da by x, u in bracket x plus h comma y value minus u in bracket x comma y value divided by h plus other h terms. And using the backward approximation, we will be get as a u in bracket x comma y minus u in bracket x minus h comma y divided by h plus again other higher terms. And using the central approximation, we will be get as a da by u by da by x is equal to u in bracket x plus h comma y minus u in bracket x minus h comma y divided by 2h plus other higher terms of the h square. So this is the finite difference approximation along the x direction using this three difference method like forward, backward and central difference approximation. And also we can write this double derivative, that is da by square u by da by x square, as using the central approximation as u in bracket x minus h comma y minus 2 into u in bracket x comma y plus u in bracket x plus h comma y divided by h square plus other higher terms of the h value, which we already learned in this previous video finite difference method. So using this approximation, we can also write this x comma y value by replacing the variable as I comma j value. So x will be replaced by I, y value will be replaced by j, x plus h will be replaced by I plus 1, x minus h will be replaced by I minus 1 in x direction. So if we just simply write the u of x comma y in terms of u of I comma j value, then we have according to the forward difference approximation we will be get. So these equations we have to convert into a simple form of I comma j. So using forward approximation, the first equation will be get as ux is equal to u I plus 1 comma j minus u I comma j divided by h plus other higher terms. So if we observe this, x plus h will be replaced by I plus 1 value, y will be replaced by j, and this x and y will be replaced by I and j value. So the equation becomes in terms of I and j value. So now again using the backward approximation, we can write the second equation as u I comma j minus u I minus 1 comma j divided by h plus other higher terms. Again same way, this third equation using the central approximation can be written as u I plus 1 comma j minus u I minus 1 comma j divided by 2h plus other higher terms, and the double derivative will be replaced using I and j as u I minus 1 comma j minus 2 u I comma j minus u I plus 1 comma j divided by h plus other higher terms. So we will get these four equations along the x direction. And if you observe, there is, as we are taking only in the x direction, so there is only increment in I. The j value is constant for all the equations, and only the changes in I variable for the forward I plus 1 and for backward will be a I minus 1. In same fashion, we can able to write the derivative along the y direction. So for y direction only, there will be increment in j and I will be remains constant. So will be get as a fifth equation for the forward approximation as u I comma j plus 1 minus u I comma j divided by k plus other terms of the k values. So here k is the increment in y direction. Similar fashion, we will be get these next equations by using the backward approximation and central approximations, and the double derivative along y direction will be u I comma j minus 1 minus 2 u I j minus u I comma j plus 1 divided by k square plus other k square terms. So we need to remember all these difference approximations, because we are going to use this difference approximation to solve the different types of the partial differential equations. So now first type of the differential equation is the elliptic equation. So the elliptic equation, the first equation is the Laplace equation, which is given by dabba square u by dabba x square plus dabba square u by dabba y square is equal to 0. These Laplace equations are arises in the steady state flow and potential problem. And the second type of elliptic equation is the Poisson's equation, which is given by the form dabba square u by dabba x square plus dabba square u by dabba y square is equal to function of x comma y. And these Poisson's equations are arises in fluid mechanics, electricity, magnetism and torsional problems. So the solutions of these equations are in this closed region. So we are considering here the circular closed region. The region may be a circular or rectangle, and this solution of this equation, that is the elliptic equations, will be arises in the function of x comma y in this closed region, and which are subjected to the boundary conditions. The boundary conditions are given along this circular region, that is in the shaded area, and we are going to find the different values in this closed region by converting the given differential equation into a finite difference approximation. So let's see how to convert this into finite difference approximation. So we are going to consider the first equation as a Laplace equation. So the Laplace equation is given by dabba square u by dabba x square plus dabba square u by dabba y square is equal to 0. So the finite difference approximation we can be write as, for the double derivative in x direction plus double derivative in y direction, as 1 by h square in bracket u I minus 1 comma j minus 2 u I j plus u I plus 1 comma j bracket complete plus 1 by h square in bracket u I comma j minus 1 minus 2 u I comma j plus u I comma j plus 1 is equal to 0. Here we are considering there is a square mesh. So instead of writing here the k value, we are going to write as a h variable, because h is equal to k we are going to consider for the square mesh. And this equation we need to write in terms of this u I comma j value. So rearranging the equation, we will get u I comma j is equal to 1 by 4 in bracket u I minus 1 comma j plus u I plus 1 comma j plus u I comma j minus 1 plus u I comma j plus 1 value. So here, as this 1 by square is constant for all the terms, for left hand side also and right hand side also, so it will be get cancelled. This 2 and 2 will be get added, so it will be 4ui comma j, and taking to the right hand side will be get as a 1 by 4 into all other terms. This formula is called as a 5-point standard formula, as it contains the 5 points. So this is the first point, second, third, fourth and 5 points are there. So if we consider this rectangular mesh given, so we can observe that to calculate this u I comma j value, we require the previous value, that is in x direction, ui minus 1 comma j, the next value ui plus 1 comma j, the upward value in y direction as ui comma j plus 1, and the downward value ui comma j minus 1. So as we observe, we require to calculate this ui comma j value, and for this value we require this 4 rhombus term. So using this formula, we can able to solve the Laplace equation and getting the intermediate value in the closed region. So let's solve one numerical on this Laplace equation. So we have given the values of u, x comma y on the boundary of square, and we have to evaluate the function when satisfy the Laplace equation at the pivotal points. So we have given this boundary conditions, and we need to find the values at the intermediate points. So these points will be given by u1, u2, u3 and u4. So we need to satisfy the Laplace equation. So according to the Laplace equation, we will be get this formula as ui comma j is equal to 1 by 4 into 4 rhombus term. So to calculate the u1 value, we require these 4 rhombus terms. So we will be get as a u1 is equal to 1 by 4, 1000 plus 2000 plus u3 plus u2. So we will be get this equation. Now this equation we are going to rewrite in a such a way that the coefficient terms we have to taken into the left hand side, and the constant terms are taken into the right hand side. So we will be get this equation 4u1 minus u2 minus u3 is equal to 3000. Now same fashion, to calculate this value of u2, we require this 4 rhombus term. So we will get the equation in terms of u2 as u2 is equal to 1 by 4, 1000 plus 500 plus u4 plus u1, and again rearranging equation will be get as a 4u2 minus u1 minus u4 is equal to 1500. Same fashion, to calculate this u3 value, we require this 4 rhombus term. So we will be get as a 2000 plus 500 plus u4 plus u1, and again rearranging the equation will be get as 4u3 minus u1 minus u4 is equal to 25,000. And now again the last value, that is a u4 value. To calculate u4 value, we require this 4 rhombus terms, that is u4 will be as a 1 by 4, 0 plus 0 plus u3 plus u2, and then again rearranging this equation will be get as 4u4 minus u2 minus u3 is equal to 0. So we having 4 unknown, that is u1, u2, u3 and 4, and we will be get this 4 equations. So these 4 equations are the simultaneous linear equations, and by solving this simultaneous linear equation, we will be get the values of u1, u2, u3 and u4. So this simultaneous equation can be solved by using any method, like direct method as a Gauss elimination method, or the iterative method as a Gauss-Seidel and Jacobi method. So to get the values of that, first we need to write this equation into a augmented matrix form. So we will be get this augmented matrix form as a u1 value, u2 coefficient, u3 coefficient, u4, and then this constant term. For the second equation, u1 coefficient, u2, u3, u4 and again constant term. So in this way we are going to write this augmented matrix form. And while writing the equation in matrix form, remember that these coefficients are 4 is a coefficient of u1 in first equation, then it is a coefficient of u2 in second, then u3 in third equation, and u4 in fourth equation. So you will be get this 4 value at this diagonal terms. So remember, students are making the mistake that for writing these values, they will write the 4 in first column. So it is the wrong method. So you need to take the proper care to write this augmented matrix form. So you will be get all the 4s in the diagonal terms. And now by solving this matrix, you will be get the solution of. Now if we use the Gauss elimination method, then we need to convert this argumented matrix into a upper triangular form, and then applying the backward substitution, and we will be get the result as u1 is equal to 1208.33, u2 is equal to 791.66, u3 value is 1041.66, and u4 value as a 458.34. so in this way you can able to calculate the intermediate values of the u values by converting the given equation into a finite difference approximation, and then getting into a number of linear simultaneous equation. By solving that equation we will get the result. So in this way we are easily convert the partial differential equation by using the finite difference approximation and getting the solutions. Thank you for watching.